And I spent 6 months on that project walking around a building site convincing people that it wasn't a waste of money and it would work.
Basically, the British Council have invited me over to talk about my experiences in staging events in London and then as part of the Olympics, and now working in a city in the north of England called Hull, which is the UK's City of Culture in 2017. I think artistically in the UK, that is a project that very easily becomes a project that is designed by committee, because everybody believes they have a right on big national projects to say, I think it should be like this and you should do this. And we ran a very specific argument to say that we wouldn't do that, that the artists we chose to do those shows would be in charge, it would be their shows, and they would make the decisions on the cultural content. And the other thing, of course, is the ceremony had 14,000 volunteer performers, most of them young people, and most of them drawn from the local community in the East End of London. And that was an incredibly valuable experience for them. That still resonates now. They're still all in touch with each other, they all still meet up. A lot of them hadn't done anything cultural before, and now they engage in culture on a regular basis. They have great pride in being in it. They're able to say, I was there, which is a very, very precious thing. And I think that we changed a lot of people's lives by doing that, and I think that's the power of those massive cultural events. Danny Boyle came up with the idea. We went to the palace, we told them what we wanted to do. They smiled, but didn't show us the door. They took it to Her Majesty. She said that she would do it, and then we went on and did it. And that makes it sound very, very simple, and it wasn't. Yeah, but it was a sign that even at the very top of British society, people understood what we were trying to achieve. And I think the Queen too understood that this would reach out to young people and that they would have a connection with her as well, because that she was demonstrating a huge sense of humour. Danny Boyle. Absolutely. All the films in the ceremony were directed by Danny Boyle. He directed every single minute of the entire show. And if you happen to have one of the world's greatest filmmakers on board, why would anyone else direct the film? So yeah, we sent a very small crew in very quietly to do it. She had a script, yes, she had lines to learn, and apparently it was all very jovial and it was great fun. And I met the Queen afterwards, and she said how much she enjoyed doing it, and she was glad she was doing it, and how hard it was to keep it a secret from her family, because she didn't tell the family. The closest we possibly came to it was at the beginning of the Iraq War, which a lot of people in the UK violently disagreed with. And I took part with the million people who marched on the streets of London to say, we don't want this. And that was quite an important time, I think, in the UK, because it really made politicians sit up and realise the power of the people, you know, to give this big voice to another side of an argument. But I think this is where culture does come important and becomes more important in countries where the situation is more profound, that artists can gather and elucidate in different ways a narrative, a message, far and above a point of pure and simple protest. I think is a very creative space. And when there are restrictions around gatherings, the use of public space, arts and culture often are the ways that people can find ways to protest without actually doing things that have been disallowed, because they start to inhabit different physical spaces, print, the digital space, and get their message across in ways that many, many people will understand and connect to.